The crowd in the Nexus combat arena roared with anticipation as Ambassador Krethok stepped into the ceremonial fighting circle. His massive form, standing nearly 3 meters tall with chitinous armor naturally grown from his exoskeleton, cast an imposing shadow across the polished floor. The Vectar warrior was a legend in his own right, undefeated in over 200 combat trials, his species renowned throughout the galaxy for their battlefield prowess. Across from him stood Lieutenant Emma Park, looking almost comically small in her standard-issue human diplomatic attire. At barely 1.65 meters tall and weighing perhaps 60 kilograms, she appeared more suited for a library than a combat arena. The betting odds being broadcast across the arena's displays showed 847 to 1 against the human. "This is meant to be a demonstration of combat protocols," Ambassador Krethok announced, his voice booming through the arena's acoustic amplifiers. "Your species seeks membership in the Galactic Defense Coalition, yet you send this child to represent your martial capabilities?" Emma said nothing, her hands clasped behind her back in a relaxed posture that drew scattered laughter from the alien spectators. The diplomatic protocols were clear. This was a formal challenge that could not be declined without losing face for all of humanity. "Perhaps we should make this interesting," Krethok continued, playing to the crowd. "I shall restrict myself to only basic strikes. No weapons, no advanced combat techniques. Surely that will make this educational." The arena's referee, a neutral Zephyrian official, raised one of her 6 arms. "Combatants ready? Begin demonstration in 3, 2, 1. The signal barely registered before Krethok moved. His massive arm swept forward in what his species considered a gentle disciplinary slap, the kind used to correct wayward younglings. To him, it was barely an effort. To most species, it would have been devastating. The impact sent Emma flying across the arena floor, her small form tumbling until she came to rest nearly 15 meters away. The crowd fell silent, expecting to see the human unconscious or worse. Several diplomatic observers began reaching for their emergency medical transmitters. Emma stood up. She dusted off her jacket with casual precision, straightened her collar, and began walking back toward the center of the arena. Her expression hadn't changed, still calm, still focused, but something in her eyes had shifted. Something that made the more experienced fighters in the audience suddenly pay very close attention. "Interesting," she said, her voice carrying clearly through the arena's acoustics. "I was wondering what Vectar combat protocols felt like." Krethok's mandibles clicked in amusement. "You survived a disciplinary strike. Impressive for such a fragile—" He never finished the sentence. Emma moved. Not with the thunderous charge of a Krillian berserker or the fluid grace of a Zephyrian dancer warrior. She moved with something the galaxy had never seen before, calculated, precise, and absolutely terrifying in its efficiency. First second, Emma closed the distance with a speed that defied her appearance, her small frame becoming a blur as she drove forward beneath Krethok's guard. Second, her fist connected with a specific point on the Vectar's chitinous armor, not attempting to break through it, but striking at the exact location where 2 plates met, transmitting kinetic force directly to the nerve cluster beneath. Third second, as Krethok's nervous system overloaded from the precisely targeted strike, Emma's other hand found another pressure point, and her foot swept his legs in a move that used his own massive weight against him. The ambassador crashed to the arena floor with a sound like thunder, his 3-meter frame completely motionless. The arena's medical scanners immediately confirmed he was alive, but thoroughly unconscious, his nervous system temporarily shut down by strikes that had targeted his species-specific physiological vulnerabilities. Emma stood over him, not even breathing heavily. "Combat demonstration complete," she announced to the stunned audience. "Human martial arts doctrine. Study your opponent. Learn their weaknesses. Apply force efficiently rather than brutally. She turned toward the diplomatic gallery, where the coalition representatives sat in shocked silence. Humans don't win fights by being stronger, she continued, her voice carrying an edge that made several species unconsciously step back. We win by being smarter. We study. We adapt. We find the exact pressure point that turns your greatest strengths into catastrophic weaknesses. The arena remained silent as Emma walked toward the exit. I believe that concludes humanity's membership demonstration, she said casually. We'll expect the coalition's response within standard diplomatic time frames. Behind her, Ambassador Krethok was still unconscious. The betting displays had stopped working entirely.